has more.
CBD products have gone mainstream. National retailers like CVS, Walgreens, Bed Bath & Beyond cashing in on the latest natural health super remedy. CBD commonly used to treat anxiety, chronic pain, inflammation, depression, nausea, even acne. The FDA approved the first CBD product recently, and that medicine used to treat seizures in children. All the buzz on CBD has reached Guam, where the product's readily available at a few stores. Nick Brown runs the Relief Shop in Agatia, and he tells KUAM News most of his customers are monomco and women.
They're looking for alternatives to Tylenol and ibuprofen because a lot of people are trying to deal with pain and inflammation and help balance out their anxiety pretty much.
So if CBD products are legal around the country, why is Customs and Quarantine seizing them? Brown says he's had thousands of dollars in CBD goods taken by Customs, and while the U.S. Postal Service requires a manufacturer's certification to mail those products, that isn't exactly the most business-friendly way to ship something to the island.
I guess we're a little bit behind on times and they didn't get the memorandum, but everything we're bringing in has been federally legalized.
Customs Director Ike Pareto says his agency has seized a wide variety of CBD goods.
We have oil, gummy bears, dog food. They come in different types.
Hemp-derived CBD products have trace amounts of THC in them, and the threshold for legal CBD, 0.3%. And Pareto says the department doesn't have tests that measure THC percentages, a nationwide problem that is hindering consumers' access to legal CBD remedies.
It's getting tested before it leaves the manufacturer.
Pareto says Customs will be looking for lab results from the factory for CBD shipments. He says that should clear those future shipments, but he acknowledges his agency is seizing from small businesses products that are completely legal. And the owners of these products are giving him an earful. And just what are they saying?
Hey, back in the U.S. mainland, all of these things are moving from one state to another.
But it looks like GovGuam red tape is stalling the release of CBD products, as Pareto says public health is now studying the labeling of these items.
Once I get the report that they have completed, reviewing those labeling requirements, I will release those products.
But that may be easier said than done, as Public Health Head Linda DeNorsi tells KUAM she has sent pictures of seized CBD product labels off to the FDA, and she says compliance review may include lab testing, which would require the products to be sent off-island to the FDA for analysis. To Brown, that sounds like a lot of the runaround he's heard before.
Public Health has been saying that it's Customs, and then when we ask Customs who's in charge and who we could get the products from, they blame it on Public Health.
For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
In education news, Guahan Academy Charter School is hoping our Magahaga will grant them the use of another GovGuam facility to expand. In this report, we take a closer look at how other charter schools independent of government facilities are doing. Here's more. Science is Fun and Awesome Academy, or SIFA, is one of Guam's charter schools located in Tizon behind GAX, housed through a lease agreement with Eagle Land Holdings. Like all charter schools in Guam, SIFA is funded by GovGuam based on the number of students. In school year 2018-2019, the charter had a modest population of just over 150 students at $6,500 per student, totaling around $1 million. SIFA principal R.V. Bacani says that although SIFA students must meet the Common Core educational standards, the charter is not restricted to the centralized curriculum and infuses their courses with STEAM, science, technology, engineering, art, and math.
The freedom here is that, we're not bound by so much. So a lot of the teachers, when they pitch an idea, a concept, let me try this, normally it's shot down by others. Ours is, let's give it a try.
SIFA engages students with a project-based learning system in which the students apply what they learn. PTO president and PTO representative to the Board of Trustees, Paul Tapao, tells us his son, who is a student at SIFA, learned about and then had to build a model of the human heart. He explains that the projects encourage critical thinking and facilitate a more comprehensive understanding of the subject matter.
They did it in science, and they applied the BPM measurement and the pulse rate, and in health they did circuit training. They took their BPM rate at rest, and then they took their BPM rate while in conditioning and recovery and everything. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I learned that when I was in the national team, how to do that. And here's a sixth grader who's understanding that what he learned in science and health, he's applying it in physical activity, which was done in PE, and he's applying the math skills and comprehending how to take a pulse rate and putting it together to get your blood pressure rate and everything. So
Bacani says that SIFA's dynamic curriculum appeals to multiple learning abilities and strengths, which is important when trying to help a diverse student population realize their potential.
Hearing it from the parents themselves are the best judges. They'll tell us that, oh man, I didn't know my child can do this. I didn't know anything about this. Just hearing that, you could already gauge it, that they're well prepared. I mean, we have kids that will be going into the private schools. The high schools have tested successfully.
Tapal told us he was one of the parents who was surprised at the efficacy of SIFA's methods. He says seeing how motivated his son is and watching him excel, like joining a math club and learning robotics, has been a phenomenal experience for him as a parent.
These are skills that he's never knew that he can actually apply himself. And I mean, building a rear axle of a moving car using a Lego, it's really, and making it move is, it just lit his eyes up. Mr. Bacani's team has really gone above and beyond in providing that type of education to the kids.
Eagle Land Holdings, SIFA's landlord, is completing renovations for the school's expansion. Principal Bacani says the expansion will help increase SIFA's student capacity to 350 students and that the work should be completed in July and ready for the new school year. Reporting for Guam. GMH CEO Lillian Posadas says that the hospital continues to see a persistent influx of patients even after the restructuring of GRMC. Posadas adds that they've diverted patients due to limited capacity. Just yesterday, they had 17 patients waiting for a bed.
I'm anticipating that we will continue to see an influx or, an increase of patients waiting to the emergency room, but I also understand that GRMC, they were saturated also yesterday, the emergency room, with patients waiting to be admitted.
Overall, she says patients are coming in sicker with more frequent cardiac cases. They continue to recruit nurses from the mainland and work with UOG nursing graduates. Currently, numbers show that one registered nurse sees 6 patients. In other news, is Guam ready for the next cyber attack? How do you protect yourself online? In our next story, Tomas Maglonia searches for some answers.
The security and privacy that's on the island is really dependent on the users.
In our digital world, Guam Homeland Security Cyber Intel Analyst Lucia Perez says we're constantly being monitored.
Because the internet is constantly evolving, you're going to always be at risk, whether it be low, medium, or high. It's what's behind your firewall and what you do to protect yourself that makes it stable.
According to a 2018 Pew Research poll, nearly 7 in 10 Americans use some form of social media. Over half of those people say they don't trust that their digital information is being protected. The top 3 online threats on Guam are identity theft, email phishing, and online lottery scams. Paris says if you're concerned about a file, delete it. For other words of advice, use and update your account passwords. Guam Homeland Security PIO Jenna Bloss says cyber attacks can happen to anyone.
It's important for the community to be cognizant of their online and their cyber hygiene and try to move away from that mindset that it can never happen to me.
If you fall victim to a cyber attack, they say call the Marianas Regional Fusion Center for help at 475-0400. Their last tip, stay vigilant.
When you go on the internet, you leave a digital footprint. So don't think that just because you deleted a file that it'll never be found.
Preparing for cyber attacks is just as important as preparing for natural disasters. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Tomas Maglonia.
Well, Sunday night at the Hotel Nico Guam, the 75th Liberations Queen's coronation ball was held. Crowned as the 75th Liberation Queen was Regina Gloria Mendiola Dueñas of Santa Rita. The 20-year-old is the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Frank and Yolanda Mendiola Dueñas and is sponsored by the Santa Rita Mayor's Office. Queen Regina raised $67,190 in total. All the candidates this year raised a little over $193,000. The funds will go to assist in the memorial and prayer services, as well as this year's parade. Congratulations to Queen Regina and her royal court. Well, stay tuned. Up next in the weekend edition, we have trend spotting, and still to come, the Guam Crime Stoppers report.
There are more ways to experience Guam via KUAM News. giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. From smart devices, Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing.
Over the web, on mobile, on streaming platforms, with immersive, interactive formats, and via social media where it's more than just content, it's conversation. More ways to keep you informed and entertained whenever you want it, wherever you are, on whatever device you're using.
Half the day, I'm in the club.
Half a day, welcome to Two Lovers Point.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
When it comes to power and performance, nothing compares to Dodge. And right now at Cars Plus in Mighty, you can save thousands on many Dodge vehicles in stock during our Dodge Performance Days. Like a new 2019 Grand Caravan SE, save $4,250, or save $6,150 on a new Durango SXT. Looking for more power? Take home a new Charger SXT Plus today for only $37,689, or save over $7 grand on a new Challenger GT. Get more power and performance at Cars Plus in Mighty during Dodge Performance Days. Cars Plus, driven by you.
Every year since Guam's liberation, we've come together as a community to pay homage to those we lost, to celebrate the boundless courage and resiliency of our people, and to take pride in the legacy of peace and friendship that prevails across our islands. In this milestone year, the 75th anniversary of our liberation, let us join hands to celebrate our diversity as we strive for peace and work together to build a better world.
Chris hit the pavement in Tamuning talking to numerous neighbors in the central village directly about their thoughts on safety and crime. A store owner really got your attention with this soundbite.
We had problems where guys, they would come in and then beer run. They would come in, just take like random stuff around the...
And the residents didn't hold back when wanting to share their concern about keeping their very densely populated streets safe. One of our Facebook top fans, Christina, recalled happier times, chiming in, "Tamuning was never like that when I was growing up. We could roam the streets to all hours of the night into the morning." Anarbo Moreno, another top fan, noted, "It seems to me some of these people have no respect or fear for the police," which led to Rose Santos to comment on his comment, writing, "That's because they know that our court system will set them free." And also, Paul joined the conversation by saying, "Tamuning is a lot more safe than most of the places here on island. Let's not exaggerate now. Dedido is way worse, and I'm glad I no longer live there." Midweek, local activists had an audience with the governor about wanting to put a halt to the military buildup on island.
I support it for the national security reasons. And why is that? Because we are in a geographic position where military, the U.S. sees us as the military sees us as a place where we are the first line of defense. And you might say to me, "Lou, why are you buying into it?" Right? Because I feel that that is a threat to us.
If you haven't streamed the story yet, you should, because it got very heated, and so did your comments that followed. Over on YouTube, Frank Shocker had sharp criticism for the activists and support for the chief executive, typing that they're spoiled children looking for affirmation. Save Paget, done. Return unused lands, done. Pay for infrastructures renovations, done. Help fund a Guam museum, done. Done, 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 done. What are you children still crying about? Well done, Governor. Similarly, Crazy Bravo Zulu typed, "All this anti-American sentiment is making me sick. Hate is being pushed to these people and I'm not going to support them anymore." But not all was positive, as Lou Leon Guerrero got an earful from Daybreak, who added to the thread by posting, "When you care more about the US military than your own island and people, shame on you." One story this week that had the community scratching their heads, a man trying to plead guilty for a crime he committed. However, the court refusing his entry.
The judge denied him, saying that, "I don't know what's the reason."
For them, he wasn't making an intelligent plea. In May, Dexter Long was indicted for attempting to bring in almost 1,000 grams of the drug ice. Long, who is sitting behind bars waiting for another hearing before the court, wrote a letter to the entire island community of Guam. It's a last-ditch effort to convince the judge he's owning up to his bad behavior. He once again pleads guilty of the crimes he's being charged with.
He's deeply sorry for what he did. That's why he made this letter.
Vivian Peralta said her husband is willing to accept the consequences. Over on Facebook, Sungi Guam writes, "This looks like someone got the wrong guy and wrongfully charged, and the courts know it, so they won't allow him to plead guilty. This is fishy and needs more attention. It just doesn't add up." And Christopher Davis states, "Anyone that will go this far to show the island he made a mistake should be given a chance to make things right and have a chance to get back to his family." His case is set to go to trial August 21st. A trial Long says there's no need to waste the community's tax dollars and time with the burden because he knows he will eventually lose. The 75th Liberation Queen's coronation ball was held Sunday night at the Hotel Nico, Guam. 20-year-old Regina Gloria Duenas of Santa Rita was crowned as the 75th Liberation Queen, raising $67,190. Congratulations to Queen Regina and her royal court. Lastly, I-94 will be having a food truck rally on Wednesday, July 3rd. Stop by Skinner Plaza in Hagåtña and enjoy tons of food, live music, face painting, and our beer and cocktail garden. The event starts at 5 p.m. and lasts until 10 p.m. See you there!
Check out Triple J's spectacular deals going on now during the hot summer savings event. 0 down and no payments for 90 days. Get into a Mazda CX-5 at its lowest price of $19,995 or $152 per paycheck. The big boy truck, the Ford F-150, starting at $282 per paycheck, or the Honda Civic starting at only $176 per paycheck. Triple J says yes. Purchase your next vehicle online at triplejguam.com today. Triple J, customers first.
If you get nervous about having dental treatment, you're not alone. An estimated 35 million adults experience anxiety or nervousness at the simple thought of visiting the dentist. As your dentist, I strive to make your visit as painless or pain-free as possible. And I frequently tell my patients that in the 21st century, if we can give you medicines to put your tooth to sleep or medicines to take an infection or toothache away, we can surely give you something to help relax you and take all fear away. No one ought to sit in a dental chair thinking of bad childhood memories or fearing injections. If you're a dental coward, but you really do want your teeth fixed, don't wait until the pain is killing you. Come in, tell us your fears, and set up an appointment. We have convinced many that dental treatment doesn't need to be scary anymore. For your helpful dental minute, I'm Dr. Kenny Bourgeois of Paradise Smiles. You shall never know all the good a simple smile can do.
Today and welcome back, everybody. Paul Tapau is joining me now on the KUAM couch. He is always 100% the Sarge, even though he's in civvies right now. So, Paul, welcome back, man.
Hey, Afide, thanks for having me back
right.
again.
Good to have you. Okay, one thing that GPD and you personally, I know you've been dedicating a lot of your time to work on is this connection and the communication and unity with our Micronesian brothers and sisters that come over. And there's an event coming up just to do just that.
Yes, you're spot on, and I'm glad you used the word connection because this Wednesday, July 3rd, we are going to be partnering with our partners throughout the Micronesian islands. We actually have representatives from all the Micronesian islands are standing up in addressing the issues in which we have been facing throughout the past month, dealing with crime more specifically, and of course identifying our culture and understanding the beauty behind culture diversity and understanding who we are. So July 3rd, 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock, we're going to be doing a unity wave. It's weaving the Micronesian Islands, a one Micronesia approach. And we're inviting everybody to come out and support this, because right after that, we have our town hall meeting, and we do want to showcase the good in our community, understanding that we as one who consider Guam home can actually call ourselves truly Micronesians, and coming out and supporting this initiative. It's one region, one big family. And like I know you've said that you want to make sure that you emphasize, and at the town hall meeting that happened in Tamuning this past Wednesday, I know Major Manny Chong was there, and they were saying that, we don't want to make this a us versus them. Absolutely. Or you guys versus us. We want to actually incorporate you, and we want to work with everybody together. Absolutely. And it really starts with the dialogue. It started with the dialogue, understanding, and finding solutions. We needed to really create that dialogue, addressing the issues in which we're facing and finding the solutions through dialogue. And through the last two meetings, this is where we made the connection. And when we use the word weaving, it really is connecting the right people. We have all the service providers that are out there. We have Micronesian Resource Center, we have Manialo, we have UOG's 4-H that is going to be a part of it, and the Guam Police Department's Community Affairs is partaking in this. And we're asking members of the Guam Youth Congress to come out. We're asking youth-based organizations to come out to show, a full support of unity within the community. And it's important that we come out in numbers so that we can showcase the greater good that we have in the community. Now, we were at UOG at the same time, and I know you didn't major in marketing like me, but I like what you just said, unity in the community. Yeah, I took a ring to it. I took that bite out from our Women's Advisory Network, and our ladies from WAN, they come up with a great idea. The Fade Away from Violence was taken from that too, and the unity in the community, it's really weaving the islands and understanding. And the beautiful thing again is that we've established representatives from each different islands, from Chuuk, from Belao, from Kashrai, from Pohnpei, from Yap, and from Guam. These are the islands, these are the major islands that are going to be participating and involved with this organization, in which we are going to be moving forward. We are meeting, I think we're going to be meeting twice a month in identifying where we can address issues, target the issues in which are being brought up at the town hall meetings, and find solutions to this by working and embedding ourselves with the community. What from investigations, and we don't have to give away any confidential information, but what tends to bubble up as the reasons for crime? That involves like our Micronesian brothers and sisters. Is it being bullied, or No, not necessarily. I mean, if we take crime in general, you really look at why they're committing crime. The motive, right? Yeah, you remember. This is a great segue to talk about this, because this is the Crime Stopper segment. But crime is really committed by people who want to take advantage of opportunity. Understanding that you can make an easy buck by breaking into somebody's house, or it's either fueled by addiction, or it's either fueled by social ills that they face, whether it be unemployed or anything. It really is, when you really break it down, a lot of the crimes in Guam is being committed, done by those who suffer to addiction. And drugs and addiction drives and fuels, the people who choose to do all these stuff into committing it. So it really doesn't take a rocket science to figure it out. It's like one constituent said in the town hall meeting in Tamuning is, when people break into their house, they're not breaking into your refrigerator or your pantry. They're taking the hot items that they can be sold and resold, so that they can get something in return. The jewelry box. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so when we do this, we're not looking at ethnicity. We're looking at how we can actually work together as a community, in understanding that we can all find solutions by working together. Okay, so we're going to talk about this in a little bit more, but I know, let's go ahead and get to the crime of the week, because this is a big one. Yes, this week is a robbery that occurred just last week at the Anigua store in Agana. Okay, there's good people in Anigua, really, really hardworking people there, God-fearing. Let's help them out. Here's what you need to know. The Guam Crime Stoppers is seeking the help from the community relative to an armed robbery that occurred in Anigua. On Monday, June 24th, at around 4:30 in the afternoon, officers from the Higania Precinct Command responded to a robbery that occurred at the Anigua store in Halapin. Preliminary reports suggest that an unknown man armed with a black handgun entered the store and demanded money. The armed suspect then fled on foot with an unknown amount of cash. No injuries were reported relative to this robbery. The armed man was described as possibly local, wearing a black shirt, blue jeans, and had a white shirt covering his face. If anyone has any information about this crime or any other crime, you can call our 24-hour hotline at 477-HELP, that's 4357, or submit a tip online at guam.crimestoppersweb.com. All calls will remain completely confidential, and a cash reward of up to $1,000 could be paid if the information provided leads to an arrest and a grand jury indictment. Your call does make a difference.
Okay, Sarge, I know you and everybody that wears the uniform, the badge, you guys are addressing this as professionals. You guys are doing this as like one law enforcement unit, but I know you guys are taking this really, really seriously. And a lot of you guys, your feelings are really hurt when this happens, not just because you say, we've got to get back at a certain amount of people, or like, there's bad things happening in our community, let's make it right.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we take those little steps and we identify where we can work together, this is the direction in which we need to go. And when we say weaving the Micronesia islands together and coming up with this one Micronesia approach, it really is connecting with the right people, connecting with the service providers that are out there, connecting with the faith-based groups that are willing to work, willing to stand up, willing to provide to the community, youth-based organizations that are willing to be a part of the community. And this is where we really overshadow the bad that is happening in our community with the good and the greater good that can come out of the community. And it really is about time that we showcase that. And I think come July 3rd, you're going to see firsthand what we have to offer from within the community, the services that the government agencies provide, our partners in the nonprofit organization side, our non-GOs, and of course our faith-based and our youth-based group. So come on out, July 3rd, 5 o'clock, meet at the old Dedadu Flea Market. Right after that, we have the town hall meeting. It's a great opportunity to suggest, give your recommendations, your concerns. It's an open dialogue, and this is where it starts, it's dialogue.
And hopefully let's get some island pride and some cultural pride to outweigh a lot of the bad and a lot of the embarrassment.
It is, and I want to leave, the beautiful thing about this, we have something in common. We all have culture. Whether you be from Chuk, whether you're from Pohnpei or Yap or Guam, our culture is our tradition and our values, and we really do need to hone in on that and find what defines us as Pacific Islanders and as one true Micronesian islands.
Absolutely. And hospitality and respect are the two virtues that we probably hold the highest here. So
it is, and it echoes throughout the whole Micronesian island. So, come, join us. We'll be there from 5 to 6, and then we're going to go up to the town hall meeting, and, we're going to hear the concerns, and we'll address this issue from a holistic approach and a one Guam, a one Micronesia approach.
All right, so speaking of hospitality, we appreciate the invite.
Thank you.
We'll see you there.
Thank you so much.
And we will see you right after this.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.